Certainly not worried
All right,
about
so
you.
let's talk about Corey Lewandowski, the Trump campaign strategist.
Controversial guy.
Well, he's controversial, but he did his job, right? For the first part of this, the primary campaign, you can't say it wasn't a success. It was.
It was a success, an overwhelming success, but now he's out. So KUSI Contributor, 1170 AM radio host Mark Larson is here to talk all about the firing.
Sure glad the bailiff restored order in the middle of the break.
I know,
Just
right?
coming back from, I got hit by a spit wad. Just like
That was blame Carlos.
My teachers always told me, Mark, on the report cards, they said, Mark gets really good grades, but he has a problem visiting with his neighbors too much. That was always the way that it was. So we all, you know,
I think we suffer from the same
very
disease.
energized team this morning.
Overly social. So what does this Corey Lewandowski thing mean? I mean, it's time to shift, right? Time to shift the campaign.
Shift to the main campaign now. He did his job in the primary, but he was controversial, sure. But it's a win for Paul Manafort, who has experience with other campaigns. John McCain didn't win, but he was with George W. Bush and all of that. So the guy knows how things go in politics. That's a smart move. There are other questions, though, when you look at how much money is on hand with the Trump campaign. It's like $1.3 million, which is like the spare change we find in the green room back
County commissioners spend more money than that.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much. He's been banking on the free media, the earned media, and he got plenty of it, almost $2 billion since he announced a year ago. So you can't keep doing that. You can already tell how the networks have shifted gears. Now it's mano a mano, well, Donald versus Hillary, depending on what happens at the Republican convention. So it's a whole different playing field now. What's not different is the mood of the country, and that's the big question.
Okay, so let's talk about this influence of Paul Manafort for a second. I mean, is he going to be able to shift Trump away from the Trump has to be Trump strategy, which is the Corey Lewandowski strategy? Are we going to see anything different from Donald Trump?
It's, again, somebody who draws outside the lines is Donald Trump. If you don't let Trump be Trump, just like they had to let Reagan be Reagan, and Trump's no Reagan, but the reason that he got all the earned media and all the acclaim and won all the delegates is because he sometimes is bombastic. If you make him a boring politician with a teleprompter that is full of policy wonk stats, and then he's not Trump, then everybody else wins. So that is a fine,
but at some point he has to stop.
He just
start being like presidential.
He needs
don't
to
you
stay
think?
on message. If I was advising Trump now, I would say, hey, stick on this whole thing about the Islamic jihadist terrorism, like he did last week in his speech on Monday after Orlando. But 15 minutes in, he was into all kinds of other things where he got off the rails away from the speech itself. That's where the other side capitalizes. Of course, Hillary Clinton and her forces are unleashing, some say it's 30 million, some say it's 41 million. In swing states today, California is not one of the swing states, so we won't see these ads. But the first of the ads that you've probably seen this morning, and I've talked about on radio, hit Donald Trump for business failures. All right, well, he could capitalize on that because he could say, listen, people who have spent all their life in public life and never worked in the real business world don't understand if you're an entrepreneur, sometimes your businesses fail. And then it's America. You get to start again. You don't go to central planning to have to get an okay to start doing what you're free to do. So there's a lot of ways to capitalize on that. The problem is she also has a lot of Republicans saying bad things about Trump in those ads, too.
Yeah, they're helping her
Rubio
out.
and Romney, they're helping, too.
So let's talk a little bit about the family influence, because there's been some reports that Don Jr. and Ivanka had something to do with Corey being fired.
They weren't big Corey Lewandowski fans.
Yeah, and so that had something to do with that, and that they continue to be a strong influence because Donald Trump, as he says, and he's admitted, who do I listen to? I listen to Donald Trump. He only really listens to himself. And if that's true, then Ivanka and Don may be onto something here.
Well, and if the family is, well, first of all, I would play up his family. If I was with the campaign, you say that there's a lot of women who have jobs. It counters a lot of what the other side, Hillary and company, the Democrats, are saying. But it's a tall order because right now some of the polls have shifted and showing that he's behind Hillary Clinton if the election were held today. There's one especially interesting poll pretty much saying this is the Larson paraphrase, but okay, we know that Hillary has honesty issues, but we'll vote for her anyway. I mean, that's how bizarre this year is. So
let's talk about the money for a second.
Because,
we like to talk about the money here. So his campaign, we're hearing the June numbers out saying that does not have near the war chest that Hillary Clinton has because he hasn't been fundraising.
Right, he has not been. There's been money coming in. If you go to his website, there was a donate button.
I remember, but he made a big deal about I'm self-funding. I mean, he made a big deal about it. So now how does he shift to start bringing in these donations.
This gets the conspiracy theorists busy with maybe he really wants to drop out. He's tired of doing me. Some people saying maybe he'll drop out in like October just to be ticking everybody off because he's not really into it. He hasn't put his money into it. I think you'll see things very quickly change. I do know he has a fundraiser with a small group of big-time donors happening in San Diego middle of next month. You don't do that right before the convention unless you're still in it. The problem right now is with all these ads, the attack ads coming from Democrats, aided by some Republican comments in those ads, as we said, is that it's the same playbook that's worked from the Democrats. They did it against Romney in 2012, where they hit him in June before he's gone to the convention, when you get the money from the RNC, from the Republican National Committee. And so the Republican candidate has hands and arms tied on that. The image gets set. That's when they went after Romney and this 47% comment and all that. It gets hammered ahead. It's a very brilliant strategy, but the other side doesn't have the money to counter yet. Now, it is different this time that the PACs, the political action committees, are very, very busy too. So to say that Trump only has X amount of dollars, there are other PACs that can counter that.
Sure.
And if they want to do something in his behalf, should do that. Versus the...
Well, that's where the Koch brothers' money is going, into the PACs. They're not endorsing
And they've
directly.
been kind of fickle on a couple of things
Right.
here lately, too. They're not, despite being the boogeymen of the left and the Democrats, they sometimes throw off, they're not just predictably conservative. So a lot of players in this. And
Very interesting stuff.
Right. Mark, good to see you.
nice to see
Sorry
you as always.
for Carlos throwing a
No,
spitball
I love
at you.
the spirited
that was
nature of the
I'm
show.
glad that you
Well, I have to
restored
apologize
order
for
to our
him.
broadcast.
And I especially enjoyed this morning because I watched the show before I go on the air at 6 o'clock over on AM 1170.
is
You're
that-
talking about the new 72 different emojis.
Yeah.
Did you get yours on your phone? I'm still
Not
waiting
yet.
for it.
A couple of days. You got
But
to
there's
wait.
an emoji board.
The
How
Bureau,
do you get
Bureau
that?
of Emoji Construction,
What
yes.
does that pension look like?
I don't know, but I want in.
Just design an emoji for a month and a half. That'll
right,
be
Mark.
You get
great.
free snacks when you work
I
there.
love that.
Thank you. Thanks, Mark.
See you later.